A while ago on the show, we discovered the concept of girl math. And for those who need a refresher course on this academic subject, girl math describes the sorts of mental calculations that women make when they're out shopping. Girl math is less math and more magical thinking. So for example, according to girl math, if a woman buys some totally unnecessary item for $63, well, she just lost $63. However, if that same exact item is $63, but it was originally $90, then instead of losing $63, she has just made $27. That 30% discount immediately becomes profit for the female customer. Now, a man might point out that even if the item was on sale, she still spent money she didn't need to spend on an item that she didn't need to buy. The 30% discount doesn't change the fact that she's out the $63. In fact, a man might also argue, discounts are usually fake anyway. So most of the time, the alleged discounted price is just the price. If the item on the shelf is $14.99, but the store claimed the regular sale price is $23.99, the alleged regular sale price is almost always imaginary. Like they've never actually sold the item for $23.99. The price is always just $14.99. The sale is a marketing ploy. Now, this is what men so often try to explain, but to no avail. That's how a woman can go out and buy a car full of junk that she doesn't need and still feel like she has somehow saved hundreds of dollars. As long as she buys stuff on sale, she isn't actually spending any money in her mind. She's making money. So girl math taken to its logical end would mean that if you have $0 in your bank account, you can still buy an infinite amount of merchandise on sale because you're making money. You're not spending it. If you make $14 an hour working retail, there's no reason why you can't buy a Lamborghini for $250,000 if the normal sale price is $300,000, because then they're paying you $50,000 to take the car. $50,000 in a new car, that's a hell of a deal. And that's kind of how girl math works. Now, here's the question. What happens when girls run the government? Well, it turns out that we get a government operating on the principles of girl math. And that brings us finally to Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York. She just held a press conference where she made an exciting announcement. Kathy informed the people of New York that she had just saved them $1,500 a year. Now, it's not often that a Democrat politician saves taxpayers' money, so this was welcome news, shocking news. But how exactly did she pull this off? How is she going to save New Yorkers $1,500? Well, let's find out.
During this process, from day one, I have made affordability for New York families a top priority. I always have, and I always will, fight to put more money in the pockets of everyday New Yorkers. That's why back in June, I stood up on behalf of hardworking families and simply said no. No to a new $15 congestion toll that at that particular time was just too much. Too many people were worrying about high costs, groceries, rent, childcare. These are real challenges for our families. And launching a toll that high really would have hurt a working mom or working dad trying to make ends meet, especially someone driving in from a transportation desert or far from outside the center of the city. And I'm proud to announce we have found a path to fund the MTA, reduce congestion, and keep millions of dollars in the pockets of our commuters. Under this plan, the MTA will implement a congestion pricing plan with a reduced daytime toll of $9 beginning in January. You heard that correctly. It was $15 before, and now it is $9. That is a 40% reduction. This lower toll will save daily commuters nearly $1,500 annually. And that kind of money makes a big difference for our families.
So did you get that? You see, Kathy was going to charge commuters $15 to drive to work every morning, but now she's only going to charge $9. So just to be clear, she is not reducing an already existing toll. She is, in fact, adding a new toll, and the new toll is $9, which is pretty steep, but it could have theoretically been even steeper, which means that you're saving money every time you lose money on the toll. This is what Kathy Hochul, professor of girl math, is claiming. New Yorkers should thank Kathy for her generosity. Now, every time they go through the toll now, they earn $6. Now, on the surface, it seems like they're paying $9, but they could have been forced to pay $15, which means they're earning $6. I mean, I think that Kathy is being a bit too modest, because really this theoretical toll could have been any amount of money. The many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics states that everything that can possibly happen is happening in one of the infinite number of parallel universes. And this would mean that there's a universe where the toll is $15. There's also a universe where the toll is $30, even $50. Indeed, there is a universe where the poor people of New York are forced to pay $1 billion every time they pass through the toll. And the person who saved us from that horrible possibility is Kathy Hochul. She just saved every commuter in New York $1 billion a day. Think about that. This kind of logic is, it's a lot of fun, actually. I mean, it can be used in so many other contexts. For example, and I'm not suggesting that you do this, but you could walk up to somebody on the street and rob them at gunpoint and then tell them that you just saved their life because you were going to rob them and kill them, but instead you're just robbing them. Now, sure, you're still robbing them, but think about how much worse it could have been. You have just heroically rescued this person from the evil clutches of yourself. They should be grateful. In fact, that was another possibility for the toll. I mean, Kathy, she could have put in place a toll where commuters are charged $15 and then also shot. She could have. That's a possible world. Imagine that. That would have made for a pretty hectic commute to work. But now they'll only have to pay $9 and they won't be shot. So Kathy saved them $6 and also saved their lives. I mean, this woman, she's a hero. I guess that's how we're supposed to see this anyway. This is the consequence of girl math, otherwise known as gaslighting, especially when it's done by elected officials. And unfortunately, there's some reason to think that plenty of people will fall for this. There is a lot of precedent to this kind of thing with the government. Just think about, for example, how most people react when they get a tax refund. They seem to believe that they're being gifted free money from the government. In reality, the government is just returning a small portion of the money they already took from you. You're still losing money on taxes every year. And in fact, you're losing money even on the money they return because it isn't returned with interest. But most people don't think about that. They're just happy to get the check. As it turns out, the IRS is the ultimate proponent of girl math. Our whole tax system runs on this philosophy. It is truly a scourge. And that is why Kathy Hochul and all of the other proponents of girl math in government and outside of it are today canceled. If you'd like to see what else I have to say, you can access my full show by going to dailywire.com or by going to the Matt Walsh Show Twitter page. Hope to see you there. Godspeed.